medical related, cloud and networking related project, like almost deal with a lot of commercial related projects as well. Uh, so that is like a brief introduction. So coming to this teaching experience with the testing course, I have around 5 years of experience into the teaching experience of software testing tools, and trained around 1,000 plus students, and given guidance like getting placed into good organizations, giving resume supports like how to deal with the software testing, everything. Okay, so that's all about me. And let's quickly start with our demo. So before directly jumping into the topic, today I will just give you the brief explanation what is the necessity of software testing tools and what we are exactly going to cover for this 2 months of course duration. Okay. So if you have any questions in clear, you can chat me or you can unmute yourself and you can ask me. Okay, it's like not a kind of classroom kind of thing. It's like a kind of knowledge sharing. So whatever I know related to testing, so that I am going to explain in a better and clear way. Okay, sharing my screen. Yeah. First, I will explain. So our course name is like software testing. Okay. So first I will explain what is the advantage of testing course over the other courses. Okay. Uh, let's say we have a lot of different courses in the market, like in DurgaSoft also we have Java, Python, data science, and different HTML courses. So different things are there. So why software testing is? So this is like a starting point of any kind of people, like non-IT people, or they are having the background of some BPO support related things. So the person who is not aware of the coding skills, or they're completely coming and wanted to switch into the software or IT industry, so the software testing is a very suitable role, I would say. So if you ask anyone, so it's like a starting point or entry point to anyone which is having the non-IT background. Anyone can able to come to testing and they can able to survive easily on their jobs after getting the job. Like if you have a fresher, so you can able to adapt yourself to your non-programmer skills to programming skills. Especially for the manual testing, there is no need of writing of scripts and all. So for manual testing, no need of coding, but for automation, we needed the coding. But that too, it's not an extreme level, but the minimal amount of coding skills are required. That things we will be covering in our demo session already. So the course duration is also very less. So if you take Java or full stack development or full stack Python, all these courses will take 6 months plus duration of the timing. But come to testing, it will take 2 months or 3 months max of duration, like how you are picking the content. So based on that, you can complete our course within 2 months of duration, and then you can able to try for the jobs into the IT sector. So that is the main advantage. That is the first thing I would say. Second thing, it is like anyone is doing or searching for a job for a better package. Correct. Even with a fresher or by putting 2 years of 3 years of experience into testing also, we can get good amount of package also. So the second thing is also fulfilled by the testing course. First thing, it's like an entry point. Every non-IT people also can switch to the testing course. That is the first thing. And the second thing, you can able to get good package. So if you have added the automation experience or the performance testing experience, you would get more than development package also. There are lot of example with the people who is getting the more than development package by adding their automation experience and the manual experience as a hybrid testing skills. They are getting more packages. Okay. So that is the second main advantage of using the testing course. Okay. So that is the second advantage. Third, as I said, like with less coding skills also, you can able to go with a testing course. Okay. So I think the screen is going to share. Um, let me- I just explained like what is the advantage of software testing course. Okay. So non-IT people also can switch, first thing. Second thing, you'll get good packages. And with less complex coding also, you can able to survive in the job. Okay. So that is the first thing. Okay. Second thing, so let me explain the course, what the name it stands for. Okay. It's a software testing. It's came, huh? Yeah. Okay. So we have two words here. One is software and second one is testing. So let me explain first what is software, what is testing. So we are doing testing on a software. So you have to do testing on a software. So now you have to understand what are the softwares we have and how you have to do the testing. That's what we have to learn in this particular duration. Okay. So what is software? Anyone have idea like what you meant by software? Like by listening the word software, what you can able to get? Any idea? Yeah, this is like application as you said. Okay, so software is nothing but I would say it is like a set of executable programs or some programs combinedly we are calling it as a one software application. Who will write that software, like who will write that programs means the development team, the programmers will write. So you have to do the testing on their software. That is the thing will happening in the market. Okay. So and the other thing of advantage of testing is without going with the testing phase, no product will be given to the end users. So testing phase is that much important in every organization, either it is a startup or mid MNC or a top MNC, whatever the organization it is, without testing, the project won't go to the end user. Okay, so that is the main advantage of the testing. Okay, so as I said, the software is nothing but it's like a set of executable programs. I am calling it as a software applications. Okay, this is like a programs. So what are the different types of softwares available in the market and how the testing will be allocated to the different types of softwares? Okay, I will split it into simply two ways. Okay, so one is system software, second one is I would say application software. So system softwares in the sense it is like morely depend on the hardware components, I would say. So it is controlling the hardware components. I would say it is like a platform to use your system. For example, you have purchased your laptop or you have purchased your mobile. So inbuilt what we will get the operating systems. Okay, on my Dell laptop or HP, whatever it is. So we will install some operating system that we will be calling it as a OS. That is, I am calling it as a system software. That operating system might be, I can have the Windows operating system, or I can have the Mac, or I can have the Linux. So whatever my requirement is having, so based on that, I will choose my operating system. Okay. So after your system has some hardware, software application, and then to use some other functionalities. Let's say, for example, I wanted to use my Word documentation without having your MS Office. This is again one type of installation. These are all one type of installations you should do in your system and use for your longer application uses. Okay. So MS Office for using your Word, PowerPoint, Excel, you will get this. Okay. Second thing, if you, let's say, for example, if you want to connect your printer or scanner devices, okay, or some sound systems you wanted to. So for the first time, it should not be supported in your system. First, you have to install some drivers which will supports with the attaching to your printer or scanner devices. Okay, these are all I could say. So this we could say it as a like a utilities, I would say. So this is like a basic softwares we should have in your system, and then these are the utilities extra you are adding to your system or your hardware to add some extra functionalities. Okay, so these are all comes under your system applications. Comes to your application softwares, so this is like some end user or specific user will do so multiple tasking, or for a specific task if you choose any application, that will comes under the application softwares. Okay, so nowadays like every day people will use lot of application. Can you say any example like you are using in your life as a software? What are the software? Yeah, WhatsApp. Yeah, Facebook, Insta, these apps you will use. Like if you are joining your Zoom in your mobile, that is, is also available as a application. So the people will do multiple tasking in your application, that we will be calling it as a application softwares. Okay. So in application software also, I will segregate into 3 categories for ease of understanding. Okay. First one, I would say one, web applications. Second one, web is nothing but like it, we will be calling it as a websites. Second, I would say Windows applications. Third, I would say mobile based applications. Okay. 3 categories of application softwares: websites, Windows, mobiles. So if you want to talk about example of these applications, I can say one application. You can take the example of Zoom. Okay. The Zoom now I am accessing is my window application, which means the Zoom is installed on my Windows application as an app. Okay. This is my Windows app. Okay. On the same Zoom, it was available as a, if you see here, this is available as a website URL. If you click on this, you can also continue this Zoom meeting. If you cancel here, you can already launch this particular meeting in your as a web browser. So browser is nothing but Chrome is a browser, Firefox is a browser, Edge is a browser. On browsers also you can access this Zoom as a URL, website URL. Okay. So that is a website application. If you talk about mobile app, the Zoom I can have on mobile also. With that app also I can join the same meeting. Correct online guys? So same one application, it's like a 3 different platforms I would say. Okay. One application, 3 different platforms. Okay. Like we can take another examples also, like you have Amazon or we have the WhatsApp. All are available in a 3 different platforms. It's like not mandatory to use the same application in 3 different platforms. It's based on the customer mindset or the customer perspective. So you have available with your laptop, you will join with a laptop. If you are available with mobile, you can go. So in even in Amazon also, so Amazon, how you will access? Okay, if you are accessing through your laptop, so I will access my Amazon through as a website URL. Okay. So now I was able to use this as a website URL. This is my website Amazon application. Okay. And I can have it in a mobile application also. Same WhatsApp. So WhatsApp I have as a URL, and WhatsApp you can download it as a Windows application and this application. Okay. So there is a lot of opportunity to the testing team to test it in a 3 different platforms. This we will be calling it as a platforms: website platform, window platform, and mobile platform. You have to test it. When it comes to the testing part, you have to test these 3 platforms thoroughly, because we are not restricting any customer to use in a one particular platform. Correct? So they're used by their convenience. So, but our application should run on all platforms in a correct way, same way, correct way, and in a good user experience way. That is our target. So who will define that thing is the testing team will define that things. Okay. That is the second thing. So now you got some idea like what is software. Like it's like a program, some multiple programs or set of executable programs. I'm calling it as a software. And I just explained what are the different types of softwares available in the market. System softwares and then application softwares. System softwares is like a hardware components, or it will use to run some other softwares. If you want to run all these platforms, you need OS, you need some drivers to run some other platforms. It's like a hardware maintenance related software. That's why we are calling it as a system software applications. Second category would be application softwares. So where the people can able to do the multiple tasking, or would say like end user will use. Here these are used to use your systems, to use your softwares. But this is for using from the customer sides or the user side, we would say. Okay. This we will be calling it as a software. This is like a basic understanding, because you have to do testing on your softwares. So these are different softwares available in the market, and you have to do the testing on that. Okay. So the second word, testing. Now you need to understand what is testing. So in a simple sentence, I would say what is testing means. It is a verification between expect. Now you should get the doubt like what is expected, what is actual, and how you have to verify it. Okay. Yeah. So it's like a expected versus actual. So we will take one example, then you will get the clarity. For example, take this Amazon website only. Okay. So Amazon website is asked to create one login screen. Okay. So this is your login page of your Amazon application. You should be logged in with the mobile number or email. Okay. You have to log in with this. So for example, if I have entered some mobile number, but I have provided some wrong data over this. Okay. If I have entered wrong data of mobile number, if I click on continue, what is my expectation? It should give invalid. With this number also, if I click on continue, it is going to the next screen. That is wrong. So you are able to understand, right? Without knowing testing skills also. So it is the expectation like invalid mobile number. So let's say I'm starting with some numeric kind of data. And if I click on continue, so what is the error message you are getting? Invalid email address. Earlier I got, if I have started with numbering, it is saying it is a invalid mobile number. Just observe the error message what we are getting. If I have entered the data with some kind of alphanumeric data or something like this, then it is giving you the error it as a email, which means the expectation is changing based on your inputs. Okay, if I click on continue, it would be asking like enter your mobile number or email address. Okay, let's say for example, I have entered the correct data and if I have clicked on continue, what is giving? So it is giving the password screen. Okay, so this is the positive expectation. So earlier also, these are the positive expectation. Whatever the data we have given, whatever the number you are entering, if you have entered correctly, it should go to the next screen. If you have given some wrong data, it should give proper error message. That is what I am saying it as a expectation of the end user or expectation of that particular application. What is actual means? What my actual. So that is my expectation. I came from the Amazon application and the same expectations will be given to the development team. So they will implement the screens, whatever they are expecting. That is what I would say expectation. So the same requirement will be given to the testing team also. You have to test based on the inputs, the output is coming correctly or not. Because they are writing the coding. That coding will be generated into a this kind of page. This page should work whatever the expectation from the customer it is coming. So that's what you have to do in your testing. So testing is nothing but it's a verification between the expectation of the end user versus what your developer actually developing. Both should be matched. If you got the mismatch, then it is a issue, or we would say that is a defect. Okay. If both are matched, then we would say it is a testing passed, we would say. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So that is a testing. Okay. So the testing can be done in two ways. One, we would say manually. Second, we can able to do it in a automation way. Okay. So that's why two categories, manual testing and then automation testing. So you are doing the same. You are verifying the both expectation and actual, that you are doing in a two ways, manual and automation. First, let me explain what is the difference between manual testing and automation testing. Manual testing is nothing but, let's say for example, you wanted to validate the same login. What I did, so I click on I have launched this website URL. First step is I launched the Chrome browser. Second step, I launched this particular website URL. Third, I clicked on this link, sign in link. And fourth, I am entering the credentials. Everything with my keyboard and mouse actions, the manual tester is performing all these particular actions. Okay. So this is what we will be calling it as a manual testing. So doing all the things by the software test engineer, we will be calling this as a manual testing. Okay. So the designation also for the manual testing, we will be calling it as a STE. STE is nothing but software test engineer. Okay, the software test engineering is doing all the things. Okay, and if comes to the automation testing, whatever the steps I have performed, like opening of browser, entering the URL, clicking on link and entering the data, everything will be converted into test scripts. Okay, so if we are performing in manually, if we are converting into test scripts, then we will be calling it as a automation testing. For doing conversion of that manual steps to automation, we will be using some language. So you can use any programming language by using some tool. The tool we are using is a Selenium tool, the most popular tool in the market. Most of the companies are using the Selenium tool to perform the automation testing. By using this Selenium tool, by using some programming language, like you can use Java, Python, Ruby, Rex, Perl, like C Sharp, different programming language will be supported with the Selenium tool. So earlier than this Selenium, we will be having the QTP tool actually. So this is also for the automation. Like once I started the career, QTP was there. That time we have to write the scripting in a VB scripting. Apart from this programming language, nothing will be supported with the QTP tool. But with Selenium, lot of programming language like as I said, C Sharp, Java, Python. So Selenium with Java, Selenium with Python, Selenium with C Sharp, Selenium with Ruby. Lot of combinations are there. But the best combination in the market, I would say Selenium with Java. I can say 80% to 90% of companies are using Selenium with Java combination. And compared to all programming languages, somehow Java is critical by using the tubes concepts and all. So that's why we are taking the hardest part only. So we will cover Java and then Selenium to convert your manual things into automation. That is what we would say automation testing. Okay. So, as I said, the software test engineer or manual testers are the designation of manual testing team. But for the automation testers, nowadays, the people are calling it as a SDET. SDET is nothing but software development engineer in test. So you would say SDET is nothing but software development engineering test, which means you are also doing the development for implementing the testing. Okay, so you are also the developer. That's why I said we will be also getting the equivalent package as a development team. So you are also getting the equivalent packages. But with a minimal amount of coding skills, without having complexity, without having that much of stress, how much the development team is taking. So with minimum skills also, you have to take it. But for doing manual testing, you have to have the critical thinking, like beyond the box, like how the user will use the application. In a different ways, you have to test the application. So if you have got the Amazon login screen, if you are entering only the positive data of giving the valid mobile number, valid email address, so what about the negative links? If the person by mistake he missed one number and he has entered only 9 digit of mobile number, what will happen? It should be very critical to find his address or to communicate with him, because that every details will be come on to their mobile number or email address. So by mistake the user intentionally will do, but sometimes by mistake also they have entered some wrong data. But how the communication will be? It will be lost. So that's why in a application level, you should restrict the customer to not allow the other than the users which are the not part of the Amazon application. Okay. That is the testing team main motto. Okay. To maintain the quality without intervention, like before using of customer or before giving the customer feedback, you have to give your feedback on behalf of the customer, because after giving it to the customer and then customer is giving the feedback, it's like a business impact will be there. For example, you are using Amazon, like whatever the application you are using, you are not getting better user experience. Let's say for by clicking on anything, it is taking almost 1 minute or 2 minutes of time, or for login also you are taking 1 minute of time. So no one will use our application. Okay, you will get frustrated. So you wanted to search for some dresses or sarees or mobiles, whatever, and you are taking too much of time to get all the data of whatever you are required. Then you will go to the alternate. You have the Flipkart, you have the Meesho, you have the different applications are available, Myntra. You will switch from one application to another application very easily. Earlier we used Facebook, now we are using Insta. So lot of applications are coming up. Whatever the best user experience you have, you are using. We have lot of messaging apps, right? But mostly what we will use? WhatsApp. By default, we will go with the WhatsApp only. Okay. Yeah. So that is the thing. So wherever the good experience is having with the customers, then they will use the same. So if you are getting the user experience first and then you are fixing that issues and again giving to the customer, they won't get interest on that particular product, whatever you faced earlier. Okay. So that is why as I said, the testing team is a bridge between the non-IT and IT. Okay. For example, the business people. Okay. Actually, by understanding the testing, you should know the business understanding also. How the business will be improved, how the customer is required, or how the customer needs are there. So you have to take that needs from the business perspective, and then you have to coordinate with your development team how exactly our customers is requesting for our things. So that the thing the developers needs to be developed. Okay. So you are a bridge between your business and the developers. Whatever they are developing, that should be matched with the business needs. Okay. So you are a bridge. So compared to all roles, the testing role is having the specific feature of giving the approval to the production. Production in the sense the customers. Okay. Whatever they wanted to release it to the customer, first of all, you need to give the green signal. If you have asked to stop that particular release due to some particular issues you have faced, then they will stop that particular deployment without giving to the production or end user. So that much of thing is there for the testing side. Okay. So that's why this role is very easy, very clear, and that much of importance is also there in the companies. Okay. As I said, no company, even it is a startup or mid-level or top MNC, no company product should not go to the production side without doing the testing. Okay. Okay, so this is like a basic understanding of software testing. What are the different softwares we have, how to do the testing, how manually, how automation way you have to do the testing. Okay, so let's target for the SDET role by adding up your manual and automation skills so that you will get end-to-end testing experience with a good packages. Okay, so this is software testing. So coming to the content, whatever we are covering. Okay, before starting with the content, so let me give you some small discussion about the product and project. So I think in a lot of people, they will say, okay, I'm working on a, so your brothers or sisters, whatever, your friends. So I'm working on a product-based company or I'm working on a project-based company. Okay. The people will say product or project, you would say in the perspective of your softwares only. So what is a product-based software applications? What is the project-based software applications? Okay. So product based is nothing but they will say, okay, so life is easy. So whatever they are doing in a repetitive way only. Project means it is like a complex one. Every time you will get a new projects. So the main difference between product and project is product, the companies will develop a product by considering the overall requirements in the market. Okay. So project is nothing but if you have considered only specific customer requirements and you have implemented the project, then we will be calling it as a project. So if you are considering all customer requirements in the market. Okay. So for if you take the example of products, what would be the example for the product based companies or product based application? If you go with Amazon or WhatsApp, these are all I would say products only because all customers in the market can able to use our products. Okay. So project is nothing but specific customers. Okay. For example, I have HDFC account. I am the account holder of the HDFC. So if I want to use my net banking of HDFC, what I will use? HDFC net banking only. So who is the part of the HDFC? Who is the account holder of the HDFC? Those peoples only can able to use the HDFC banking. Maybe you have ICICI or maybe some people have the Axis. So it's like a different from one user to another user. So that's why I have said specific customer requirements. Okay. So example is all this banking application or finance application or medical applications. Okay. You will be having the medical insurance of some different company. So you can log into that particular company only. Okay, you have some finance related, LIC finance or something, SBI life insurance. So different kind of thing. So that's why projects are made for specific customers. Products are made for overall market requirements. They will consider. Everyone can able to use in a common way. Okay. So if anyone asked for the examples of products or project, you have to say. Because if you are going to the company, you should understand the basic terminology of the company, what they are using. Okay, product based and the project based. Okay, so this is the difference between these two. Okay, so we are talking about software. So let's, for example, this is your software application. You can imagine anything, Amazon or Flipkart or WhatsApp, anything. Let's say this is my Amazon application. So whatever I am seeing here, okay, just now I have launched the application. This is what I would say. This is my front end application. This I would say this is my front end. Front end is nothing but this is what you are able to see as a front. So this is why what we will be calling it as a front end. This is also we would be calling it as a web UI. It's like a web user interface. Okay. UI is nothing but user interface. User interface is nothing but, so the Amazon is the interface between the customers and the all these products. Correct? Amazon is not implementing this cooker or not implementing this mobile or not implementing this desert the essentials or not implementing this TVs. So Amazon is a middle interface between the providers and the customer. So you are coming and using Amazon for purchasing the products. Let's say, for example, you want some iPhone. Okay. So iPhone providers are also using this Amazon application to add their products into this particular Amazon. So they are coming to Amazon and adding all available mobiles into their application. Okay. Second thing, the customers are coming and searching their products and they're using this Amazon application to purchase some products from here. So that is like a Amazon is an interface. You are using lot of interfaces. For example, you are using Rapido. Who came here? We will use Rapido or Uber or something, Ola. So these are all interfaces. Okay. So the Rapido person is not having their bikes or cars or something. So the people are using a Rapido application to book the rides, and other side of that, some people are using and installing that to receive the this particular cab bookings and all. So these are all we would be calling it as an interface. The front end the user can able to see. So how you are getting all this application? Even a single click, I am getting all these products. Let's say, for example, I am asking for some AC or something. If I click here, all the AC with the different categories like Whirlpool, hair, some different models are there. So now I got like 2000 above. So if I have searched by brand, so I am getting only 21. So even with a single click, your results are getting changed. Okay, with both LG and Godrej, we have 37. Okay, how these are coming? So something is happening in the backend. Okay, so it won't come on air, right? It's not like a magic. So it will be handling with some backend system. That backend systems I would be calling it as a backend. Okay, this is a backend system. So this backend system should be having the main thing is a database. Okay, so it is having the databases. Okay. And in middle, we will be having another interface. That interface, we will be calling it as a application programming interface, API. New words, but no issues. Like we will be taking training for all these things in this 2 months of course duration. So you will be habituated. Okay. So for what I did, I have asked for the iPhone. It should not directly hit the database. So this web UI, which means front end, will request the customer request through API with the database. So you are requesting for some data from the database. So what are the databases means? So I'll tell you high level now, but in if we go with the detail in a regular classes, I will explain. What is database means? You can able to store large amount of data in terms of tables. You can able to store in terms of data in a table. Table is nothing but it will be having the data in the form of rows and columns. You can able to store it. Okay. Once I have requested, so if the table is consisting of the iPhone related data, whatever I have asked, that related data will be come back from the database. Through this API, that response will be given to the web UI so that the customer can able to see the data, whatever it was available in the database through this application interface with the web UI. Okay. So it's like a end-to-end flow. If you are interested to work with the testing, you should know end-to-end terminology, end-to-end behavior, how your application is working. So some products are coming that 37 is correct or not, how you can validate with a database. Let's say, for example, how they will configure the database tables means, so they will search by name, or maybe configurations will be there, which means I need this much of RAM, or I need this much of processor, or I need this color, this price. All will be available as a columns data with a price, with a color. All this data will be stored in your database tables. Okay. With the database records, based on the search, API will request this and response will be, it's like a request response flow. To and from data will be transferred from database to web UI to database through your interface, that is application programming interface, API. So in your front end application also, you can able to see all the database calls actually. Okay, let's go with Flipkart. Any application will be in the same way. So by pressing simply Control Shift I can able to see this network tab actually. Okay. So if for example, I have searched the same thing over here also. Let's say I am searching for the iPhone 16. Okay. iPhone 16. So if I hit an iPhone 16, lot of calls will be happening, which means the business calls or something. We are giving some request. If you see here, the request is hitting to the backend and you will be getting some responses from the backend database tables. Okay. So whatever the application you can take, you can able to see all your requests we are sending from your web UI and the responses you are getting. So this is like all backend. But as a tester, you should validate while you are hitting something, the request is going in a proper way or not. Let's say if I am clicking over here. So the data should come for this particular details. Again, some hits will be went to this particular application. Okay, I am requesting for one particular data. Okay, whatever you are hitting from front end, that all, like let's say I am adjusting the price. Again, some API calls will be searched based on that particular prices and all. And you are giving some filtering over here. So everything will be contacted with the databases and the end results will come in the front end. Okay. Clear till this point? Anyone have any questions? You can ask. Okay. So this is like a end-to-end flow of your application from front end to back end and back end to front end. Okay. You should learn this flow also. Okay. Yeah. So now I'll explain what exactly we are going under manual testing, what exactly we are going to cover under automation testing. I will explain. Coming to my manual experience topics. So I will start with the SDLC. Okay. SDLC is nothing but, yes, correct. Software development life cycle. So it's like a complete process how a new software application is being developed. That process will be covered in the SDLC. Okay. So I have segregated into 4 chapters. Okay. Second one is agile process. So we have different types of SDLC models is available in the market, but we will be going with the SDLC process. That is the most popular method in the market. So most of the companies is following the agile process only. So that's why I will explain all the process whatever we have, but especially agile will be taking it as a second chapter and I will explain very clearly how to work on agile process. Okay. Third thing will be I am going to explain what are the different testing phases or stages or levels we have. Okay. In how many levels you have to do the testing or how many stages of testing we have in a complete software development life cycle we have, that I am going to explain in a third chapter. Fourth will be STLC. STLC is nothing but software testing life cycle. Okay. So to complete a testing, what are the phases you have to, like how to start it, how to plan it, or how to design it, like how to write the test cases, test scenarios, test data, and how to do the execution, and how to report the issues. If you got some issues, how to report it to the development team, and how to work with them to get the bug fixes, and how to give the bug closure reports. Everything will be given into this particular 4 chapters. Almost all the things will be covered, like how to use the Jira tool and all, like Jira tool or Azure DevOps tools will be there to log your issues and all, like how you are getting the requirements from the like business team or product owners and all. So everything we are going to cover under the manual testing. In a fourth stage only, we are going to take a one real-time project to explain like how to write the test scenarios, cases and data, and how to do the execution, everything. So we will be going to take one application to practice of doing all the test designings and all. So that will be covered under the fourth topic only. So coming to manual, like all the platforms, either it is a Windows or website or mobile application, the manual testing will be same. Okay. So coming to our automation topics. Okay. So for automation, as I said, for implementing the test scripts, Java is mandatory. So I'll first start with Java classes. So whoever is having the complete non-IT, so they are not about know about the ABC of Java also, programming languages also. I will start from the starting. From the ABC, I will start related to Java. Okay. So everything related to Java, which is required for our automation, that thing will be covered under the Java classes. Okay. It will take 2 weeks or 3 weeks hardly, because complete programming will be depend on the Java classes. Okay. So I will cover all the basics of Java and OOPS concept. Some part of collections also will be covered under the Java classes. And then I'm going to start with Selenium. So you have to integrate your Selenium related coding with the Java. By using Java language only, you are writing the code. Okay. So Java is a language. Selenium is a tool to write the automation scripts. Okay. When started with automation, you will be very clear how to write. And programming is also very, very simple. Okay. So after completing these two, and especially Selenium will handle only website related automation only. Because I said 3 platforms, website, Windows and mobile. Okay. So this will be covered with the only with the website application. But for automating the window based application, I am going to cover with the robot. So robot is there, Vinium is there, or Winamp driver is there. Okay. So I have the experience of all these three. Vinium is licensed, but Winamp driver and robot we can take it as a freeware. So I will get trained with the Windows automation, how to automate the Windows application also. For doing the mobile application, you need to take the help of Appium tool along with the Java and Selenium. So that is also will be covered. Okay, we will take some 1 week or 1 week time or 10 days time extra for covering these two. But if you are interested, at the last, I will be going to cover. Max to max for all the patches till now, I have covered these two also. Windows automation and mobile automation. No one will explain the Windows and mobile in any institute, but website only will be covered with Java and Selenium. But why I am going to cover all these two means, so not in a urgent basis, but later if you are moving from one company to another company, so maybe they will ask you to work on window based or mobile based. That time it will be helpful for you. Okay. So if you got the HR call after your course duration, maybe they will ask for mobile automation, Appium or Windows automation. So that for every need from that companies, you can say yes, because we know end to end. Okay. So with the dedication time of these 2 months, we can learn all the things. These things will be helpful for your entire career. Okay. That's why even though it is taking time, we are going to cover all this topic so that the people can able to answer to the HR questions like, you know, this thing, this thing. Okay, you can say yes to all the topics, whatever they are requesting. Okay, whatever the market is asking, that things will be covered under the testing. Okay. And apart from this, just now I have explained the end-to-end overall architecture of software, front and back end. Okay. Anyway, web UI, we will be testing with manual and automation way. But for back end, for database testing, I will give you the overview of your SQL databases testing also. so that you know like basic understanding how the databases will be verified. And then as I said, API is also important. API is nothing but application programming interface, correct? So this application programming testing also we have to use one tool, that is Postman tool. Okay, with Postman tool you can able to check that request response flows. So this is also high level. We will take some APIs example way, and then I will explain how to test the API also, so that in a company or for the interview, whatever it is, it will be helpful for you. Okay, so while learning the automation, you should also know the Maven project structure. So in a companies, how you have to work on. It will be helpful for freshers, or if you want to put the experience also, it will be helpful, because in a experienced person, they should know how the framework will be designed in the company. In a framework way also, I will be going to explain. In a framework, what I'm going to cover is, with a Maven project structure, I will explain the page object model and TestNG. As I know, these are new terms, but you should know what you are going to learn in a sequence of this particular 2 months. Okay. Page object model, it's a design pattern. TestNG is a framework. We are going to learn the TestNG framework with Maven project structure and page object model. No worries, I will explain all these things. Once we are done with the manual testing and all automation testing topics, I will explain the framework also at the end, so that if you are joined by putting some 3 years or 4 years of experience also, you can directly work on with that particular frameworks also, because the real time how the framework will be implemented, that things I will be shown up to you with a real time projects experience. I will show you. Okay, so this is the entire curriculum for our course duration. Okay. Okay, as you know, like you will get the recordings, and then if you are able to take any running notes, that is fine. If it is not possible and you can concentrate on only the things whatever I'm explaining, and I will give you some basic running notes, not in a high level, but in a detailed way, but in a high level, I'm going to give the running notes also. Okay. So I'm used to give for the all the batches. So the same, in the same way, whatever the classes today is happening, for that particular class, I'm going to share the running notes also. In a high level, you will get the notes also in this way. Okay. This is one thing. And you will get the recordings. Okay. Yeah. And this is our course content. Yeah. Okay, so we covered this. I have explained softwares and different types of softwares, testing types, product versus project. Okay, and I have explained what is front end and back end, and then what is manual testing we are going to cover with these 4 particular chapters. And then this is our course content. As I said, manual testing will cover that 4: Selenium, Robot, SQL, API testing. Core Java concepts I will explain. Not a advanced Java, but core Java will be covered here. Appium framework with POM and TestNG with Maven. And also finally, I will explain the Git also. It's like a repository, code related thing for pushing and pulling. That basic things I will cover, so that you will be trained end to end. Okay, now it's like a Q&A. If you have any questions related to this particular, it's like a demo. I just given high level what we are going to cover. So this is a first class, so that you will get clarity what you are going to cover or what you are going to learn. So the 2 months you are giving, give your 100%. I will
కోర్స్ ఇది
that you will know whatever I know. With 12 years of experience, whatever I know, I will simplify that things and I will give it in a simple way, so that you also know in a same phase. We both will be in a same phase. Whatever you are having questions or doubts related to anything, you can ask. At the last, I think after manual only, I will give a resume to you, because as I said, With a manual tester also you can able to try. Lot of people tried after completion of manual calls testing classes, they will try for the manual also. So if you have luck, then you will get the chance for the manual testing also. After that you can move yourself to automation tester or whatever you want, but attend all the 2 months of course. But what I am saying is, don't do lagging.
అడుగుతా.
After 2 months if you are planning to get the job, it will be like a lot of time it will take. So what I will do is I will give resume formats for both manual testing and automation testing. So you have to apply while the classes is running, because for scheduling interviews, for applying, for doing this, everything will take some time. So we don't waste time. After 2 months, if you will try, no one will be there for your questions or for your doubts. And so that's why I will ask in middle of course, if you have given your resumes to Naukri. So if you get chance in middle,
ఆమె అదే చెప్తోంది ఇప్పుడు ప్రెసెంట్.
complete resume support also I will give. I will give the resume
I will help you complete resume support. I will only give you. Don't worry అంటుంది.
everything.
Automation testing is have very good future for manual testing. I'm already doing అని అడుగుతున్నాడు.
The project practice. For automation, obviously, without practice, you can't able to do the automation, because it's like a programming things. So that's why I will ask you to search the job also after 1 month of course duration. Okay, so that you will get anything beyond it is asking or expecting in the market, that things also will be covered in our course duration. Okay, every batch it is the same process. The same thing I am going to follow from here also. Okay. So apart from these things, if you guys have any doubts, you can ask me so that I'll happy to answer. Okay. Online guys or offline, whoever you have anything, so I'll happy to assist you. Okay. Clear till here, or having any doubts? You are clear?
Yeah, it's clear.
Balaji, Jagdish,
Yeah, it's
Putapati,
clear.
Santosh.
Are you going to cover Jenkins also?
Any doubts? And everything is clear. Santosh, like Jenkins, I can show you like high level if you want, like after covering the Git repository. Along with that, I will cover the Jenkins also, because in my project also currently I am handling the Jenkins by creating the jobs. If you want, like I will get the laptop once, like at the day end or something, I will get it to you. Like I will show you like one class, like how to configure the Jenkins and how to create the jobs, how to schedule the jobs, how to run the scripts. Everything I'll be going to cover with the Jenkins part also. Okay, that will be covered, no issue. Okay, if no doubts apart from that, we'll class, yeah, we'll attend this particular class and then we'll join tomorrow. Okay, thank you. Thanks for joining. Same time tomorrow. Thank you. Thank you. Bye.